Everybody, how are you? It is time to head out to Heather Ford. She's hanging out where? MCAS Miramar this morning.
She's showing off one of the only electronic shooting ranges in the country. This is pretty special, Heather.
It is. It's something really special. I want to say good morning to both of you, first of all. And as the sun rises, we're going to get to see one of the most advanced shooting ranges in the entire country here on MCAS Miramar. And Corporal Sanchez is going to tell us a little bit about this range. So good morning to you, first of all.
Good morning. Thank you.
All right. So behind us, we're going to get to see this range as the sun comes up. But this is very different, much more technologically advanced than any other range in the whole country. Why is that?
Well, the difference between our field ranges and this range here in particular is that it's an electronic range. I've said it all. Every different yard line, we shoot from the 200, 300, and 500 yard line. You do not have to move. You see this red firing line right here? The shooters lay on this mat, and they fire from every single yard line from here. So
now I hear you guys are going to let me practice here this morning. We came out here yesterday and we worked on my shooting in a different kind of range. It's called the ISMIT, where pretty much it's like a video game sort of. Could you explain the ISMIT for us?
Yes, the ISMIT is an indoor simulating marksmanship trainer. What it does, it trains Marines how to properly pull that trigger, how to properly handle their weapon before they actually come out and live fire.
All right, so we've got some video of in-house of what we did yesterday, and as you can see, so they put you in what's called the prone position, and you're laying on your stomach. They're teaching you how to shoot and everything. Pretty much what they do is they take the M16, which is the gun you're holding, they take out the guts of it, turn it into a electronic device, pretty much. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. That's what they do. Like you said, it's a video game, so they hook up some electronic devices to the actual weapon, and what it does is every time you pull the trigger, it sends a signal down on the screen, and it lets you know where your shots are actually plotting. So it's pretty good. It helps the shooters out, again, with their stance and that trigger pull, which is very important.
How accurate would you say that is yesterday I practiced in that ISMIT training lab, and then you get out here and you do it in real life. Is it pretty true to
It's as accurate as it's going to get. Yeah. It's as accurate as it's going to get. It's pretty close, yes.
I love it. This is really cool. So I'm excited. This is my rifle right here. Is that correct for the morning?
This is your rifle. You'll be firing this at the 200-yard line prone position on target 39 or target 40. So you'll have some good time.
I did pretty good in the lab. We'll see how we do out here. I'm learning the marksman. What is it? The rifleman's creed?
The rifleman's creed.
Okay.
That's right.
So here we go. I've got the first two lines. This is my rifle, right?
There are many like it.
There are many like it, but this one is... Raul, you remember that line from Full Metal Jacket?
Full Metal Jacket, I was going to say, absolutely, from Full Metal Jacket. One of the best movies, by the way. One of the best war movies that you'll ever see. Just saying. That's pretty cool, though. Thank you, Heather.
5:54. By the way,
let's go live now. MCAS Miramar.
Heather Ford is live this morning to learn about the latest in Marine shooting qualifications. Ooh, sounds serious.
Hey, good morning. This is serious stuff. It's so important that every Marine here at MCAS Miramar is a sharpshooter. And so we're learning that 4 days a week the Marines are out here on the range. This is one of the most advanced shooting ranges in the country. Sergeant Parker is going to explain to us why. If you take a look, you've got the Marines gearing up, and it looks like your average range at any military base. But this one's a little bit different. Could you tell us why?
Correct. It is a little different because at normal ranges, you would actually have Marines downrange pulling pits up and down themselves manually, pacing targets after every shot. Whereas with this range, it's all electronic, so the targets pop up and down by themselves. We have VDUs, which is a visual display unit that shows each Marine exactly where their shot is, and it saves a lot of time. Marines can...
Time, resources, we're talking about people. You said if the Marines were here, you might have to be out there for several hours on the range for them to just go down, show what the shot says, and then walk back up to the range. These little boxes that are over here and they're plugged in, we can take a look at one of those too. And you were referencing that earlier. What does that box show us?
This is a visual display unit. What it is you'll see this is the target downrange that the Marine is shooting at. When they shoot, it'll tell you that the shot fired. It'll tell you that it hit the target. It'll tell you where on the target it hit, and it'll show you your score as well.
And this is one of the only bases like this in the Marine Corps, correct?
Correct.
All right, so we're going to learn this morning how to do it. They're going to actually help me to do some live firing in our 7 o'clock hour, but we've got to learn the basics first. So this is our rifle and our magazine that we're going to be using. Step on out here so we can see all of that. Can you give us just the basic lowdown of what we're going to learn about our rifle this morning?
Right. This is a basic M16A4 service rifle. All it is we have the RCO, the rifle combat optic that we use. It magnifies your sight by 4 times.
And then this is our magazine. That's the important part we need to know about. Is that right?
Well, this is because this is where your rounds are going to be coming from. This is your lower receiver, your upper receiver, and your magazine well is the basic.
And I guess for safety reasons, stay away from this end if we're talking about the basics here. All right, so they're all gearing up. We're going to learn the prone position. Can you show me a quick example of that as you just put that rifle down somewhere safe for us? And or actually, you can just hand that over to Maureen for a second, and then we're going to work on the prone position. This is something that I practiced yesterday, and what's called the ISMIT. It's pretty much like a video game that we practiced on yesterday before you can go out to the real rifle range. Go ahead and show us the prone position, and I'm going to practice mine. For now, Charlie, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio, but this is how all the Marines actually shoot out on the range. You got to practice. And they taught me you cock your leg up like this, and you've got to breathe really, really, really shallow. And then when you let your breath out is actually when you pull the trigger. So I'm going to practice my breathing. I'm going to practice my prone position. I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
Wow. A lot goes into it.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
Oh, yeah. I'm practicing my breathing. Okay, it's time to head out to Heather Ford. She's at MCAS Miramar.
She's actually getting trained on one of the most advanced shooting ranges in the country. Heather.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's about to get really loud here. I'm trying not to jump every time the guy here on Mat 35 shoots a round, but they're getting ready to go through rapid fire. Sergeant Moses and I both have our ear protection in. And what's about to happen here?
They're prep time to get ready for the rapid fire. What's going to happen is they're going to fire off 10 rounds in a rapid session without looking at their BDU and plotting their shots to be able to make adjustments, so they have to put them all in the black.
All right, so the Marines get out here about 4 days a week to practice their shooting. I wanted to see how I size up against the Marines, so I'm going to get out here. I'm on Mat 37, and Sergeant Parker's going to help me out. I'm going to give you my microphone, and you're going to kind of narrate and talk through what we're doing here, all right?
Sounds good.
Okay, here we go.
All right, so right now what you're doing, you're just going to don that loop sling. What this is going to do is going to give you that good, it's going to give you good stability as well as recoil management.
All right, down in position, right?
Yes.
What is it called?
This is called the prone position. What you want to do is you want to get all your body behind the weapon, put that buttstock high in the shoulder of your pocket.
All right.
Make sure you get that high firm pistol grip.
Okay, like that?
You want to get a little bit higher up there, so you're not putting your head down to the buttstock.
Okay.
Go ahead, side in.
All right.
And what you're going to be sighting in,
okay.
what you'll be sighting in now is at that 500-yard line, so you'll be looking for that 5 line.
Okay. So what are we waiting for?
We're waiting for fire from the tower. So yes.
All right. It looks good so far.
Oh, you got a good stance. Just make sure they...
We're going to go ahead and keep you down. They're going to stand.
Okay.
With the magazine of 10 rounds, load and make ready.
What did you just do right there?
Well, you just load your magazine at 10 rounds. What you're going to do is you're going to sling it back, loading it around in the chamber. There you go. You're going to do a quick brass check. Make sure you got in there. Put the weapon on fire.
Ready? Are we good?
Take the weapon off safe.
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet. Not yet.
Is the line ready? The line is ready.
Get it, Heather.
Get
Get on it.
Firing.
You can do it.
Where?
You can do it.
Fire?
Go ahead and shoot all
Okay.
10 shots.
Come on, Heather. Breathe, 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 breathe. Yeah.
Got about 60 seconds. Shots. There you go. You're good. 10 rounds. What you're going to do is you're going to load the magazine. Send that bolt home. Push your full weapon. And you're good to go.
There you have it. That's a wrap for this one. We'll see our results coming up in the next hour. Charlie Rowe also back to the studio for now.
Job.
That's an adrenaline rush for
I
sure.
was going to say, what an experience, man. That was outstanding.
That's really
Thanks
cool.
for letting Heather do that. That's outstanding.
I've never done that
Great
before.
to see you.
Chrissy has.
MCAS Miramar this morning.
She's showing you one of the only electronic shooting ranges in the country. Hi, Heather.
Hey, good morning to both of you. This has been quite an experience. First time for me ever shooting an M16, and now is the moment of truth because Sergeant Moses is going to tell me how I did. We've got the results. I have to tell you that just looking at it, it looks like a pretty good cluster, but I have to hear from the experts. So how did I do?
You actually did pretty good. You did average for the shooters out here, but if you gave me a day, I'd make sure you qualify.
Okay, so this isn't qualifying for a Marine?
No, not just 10 shots. You have to do all string of fire.
Okay, so this was only 10 shots for a first timer.
Yes.
I want to know a little bit about, as we're taking a look at the video of me shooting, I kind of, was trying to learn the positioning and how to do everything correctly. How long would a Marine come out here, and how long would it take them to learn how to qualify?
Well, it takes them about a week. First, they come out here to dry fire, which they don't put any rounds in chamber. They sit there and practice the fundamentals of shooting so they get comfortable with the rifle in their hand. And then they come out here and then they shoot for 3 days in a row before they actually qualify on the weapon.
And how did I do? Did I look like a natural out there?
You did good. You did good.
I was nervous. It's a little bit of an adrenaline rush. You hear you feel the kick of the M16 for sure. I practiced yesterday on the one that's called the ISMIT, so it's like a robotic sort of electronic thing where you're inside like a video game, and that rifle doesn't kick. So when I came out here and I felt the first round go, I was like, it's definitely different. For sure. Is that the same for you as well?
Oh, yeah. It always is a shock, especially when you first fire a weapon. A lot of people out here, when they come out here, they've never really shot a weapon, so they actually get, intimidated because of the recoil and everything like that. It kind of scares them.
Well, the experience out here for us, too, it's a live fire situation, so we've been out here watching the Marines qualify. I want to walk down the line with you really quick so we can take a look at, we were in the prone position, as they showed in the video earlier, which is laying on your stomach. You can see the Marines here in a different position. What is this called, and why would you shoot from different positions?
This is the sitting position, and the reason why we shoot from different positions is because the Marine Corps has guidelines set for all the shooters to shoot, so they all get an equal equal opportunity of shooting. So you don't get there's no cheating or special shooting for an individual shooter. So each shooter has to be confident and qualify in each position.
In each position, would you say that standing up was much more difficult than stabilizing the gun when you're laying down?
Oh, standing is definitely by far one of the hardest positions to shoot in just because the stability is not there. You're standing on 2 feet, and the wind, there's always possibility of the weather, things like that can throw off the shot, and it's just it's not as stable as the prone that you were in earlier.
All right, and that's right next to them. They've got that box. How accurate is the electronic box that shows them how well they're shooting?
Oh, the VDU is very accurate. The system we have out here is extremely accurate. I mean, it's accurate enough we'd be confident to qualify Marines out here on.
Okay. Excellent. This has been so exciting, Charlie Rowell, to see all of this happen. And as we were saying, about 4 days a week, these Marines get out here and get to practice. It's so important that each one of them is an expert out here and a good marksman, a sharpshooter. And I'm not quite a sharpshooter yet. Need a little bit more practice, but hey, it's my first time.
That's not bad.
That's not bad for your first time.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
I'm jealous. I want to get out there and do that. Ford, she's at MCAS Miramar getting trained the most advanced shooting ranges in the entire country. Heather?
It's important that every Marine is a rifleman, and as you can see, we're taking you inside a real-life training day here at MCAS Miramar. We're here on the pistol range, which is one of the many ranges here at the Marine Corps base, and I've got Corporal Sanchez with me to tell us a little bit about some of the more advanced training that the Marines do here on the base to make sure they're ready for combat, and really anything that comes your way. Obviously, the Marines are going through several deployments to Afghanistan and different places all across the world right now. So if you take a look here at the pistol range, how often do you guys actually use this weapon?
This weapon's used on a day-to-day basis. Every single week, we have Marines coming out to qualify. They have to qualify at least once a year. Okay, and our qualification goes as follows. Okay, we have to start off at the 25-yard line. They're going to fire 15 rounds, time limit of 10 minutes. Then we'll move down to the 7-yard line, and they're going to have to do 2 sorts of drills. They're going to do a reaction and a quick reaction drill. At that time, they're going to have 1 magazine of 5, 1 magazine of 8 drills, or 8 rounds as I was. Okay, and then they're going to move back to the sustain portion, which is where we teach them to do magazine changes, okay, and actually sustain the enemy from popping up and firing back. And that's going to happen with 2 magazines of 3 rounds, okay, time limit of 20 seconds.
And there's so much involved with being a good shooter. It's your breath. It's the way you hold your weapon. And you guys train for that on a daily basis here. I want to take a look at some video of what we've done earlier. You guys have trained me in several different ranges here on the base. One's more like a video game where you get your first hands-on training. And then we were up at the electronic range up here, which we can see video of right now. What makes the electronic range so different? I know that's one of the only operational ranges here at Miramar.
The first thing and the best thing about it is time consuming. Time consumption. It cuts back on half the day worth of work. Okay, on a regular field range, you have to go down range, send Marines to pull pits. Actually, targets that the Marines actually going to fire into. And this range, everything's electronic. That means you stay on 1 yard line, and the targets actually pop out at you at different yard lines. That makes it that much easier, quicker, and more efficient and proficient to finish the job.
And what was so neat, you guys could just print out my results right there, and then you can work on it. So I guess the end thing I want to ask you, the final question would be, what happens to Marines who don't qualify on their first try or practice for a week out and they're still trying to work on their skills? How do you guys make sure that you get to that point before you deploy?
Okay. First of all, Marines, most of us are real good shots. So we'll get in, get out, and we'll fire. But that's why we have developed the ISMIT. That gives the shooter an opportunity before he comes out to live fire.
That's that video game.
Exactly. The ISMIT, obviously their video game, it gives them an opportunity to get their skills back, their common skills, like holding the weapon, okay, trigger control, okay, aligning your sights. Okay, and before they come out here, they get all these skills ready to go. Once they come out and actually fire live rounds, most of us qualify. We have a very low unqual rate. As you all know, Marines are, every Marine's a rifleman. Hurrah.
All right. You guys did awesome. Thank you so much, and we thank you so much for your service. This has been a great experience. Thank you so much. All right, guys, for now I'm going to send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Heather Ford, thank you. The president spoke at the groundbreaking of Smithsonian